Alrighty, good afternoon. Today I'm going to be presenting an integrative and strategic analysis of O'Reilly Automotive. Rather than reviewing each milestone separately, this presentation will combine my external analysis, business strategy, corporate strategy, and AI assessment to make one overall strategic diagnosis. I'll explain where O'Reilly's competitive advantage comes from, the challenges it faces, and conclude the recommendation for how the company should strengthen its position and overall in long term. So O'Reilly Automotive is one of the largest aftermarket parts retailers in North America, serving both do-it-yourself customers and professional repair shops. The company operates with over 6,000 stores and supported by 32 distribution centers. So with that, there's also 399 hub stores that they have, along with providing fast availability and reliable service, which they have shown throughout their whole history. Rather than just competing primarily on price, O'Reilly differentiates itself through inventory availability, commercial customer relationships, and efficient distribution network. These strengths have supported long financial performance, but the company now faces incredible competition. These changes in vehicle technology, new cars and how they're made now, and the new AI tech capabilities that are available are endless nowadays. So this raises a strategic question that guides, honestly, the reminder of my whole entire analysis here is that as the automotive aftermarket is changing due to the industry competition, evolving car technology, and artificial intelligence, how can O'Reilly maintain its competitive advantage? So on this slide here, the value stick helps us explain why O'Reilly creates and captures the value throughout its business model that it has. The customer side, the company increases the willingness to pay by offering broad inventory availability, fast delivery, knowledgeable employees, and dependable relationships with their professional repair shops. On this cost side of it, the O'Reilly offer lowers operating costs through the network with the 32 distribution centers and the 399 hub stores that they have, purchasing scale, and the efficiency in inventory management. These capabilities allow the company to provide reliable service without competing primarily on lower price. This value creation and capture framework provides the foundation for the rest of my analysis because the following slides explain why competitors struggle to replicate this position overall. So for my 5 forces analysis, we're looking at how O'Reilly operates. It's in a high competitive industry, and the greatest external pressures is the rivalry between all of the large stores such as AutoZone, Auto Advanced Parts, Advanced Auto Parts, and Napa. And all of these stores have a significant amount of stores as well, such as AutoZone having over 7,000 stores, and Advanced Auto Parts having around 6,000 stores, and Napa having about 600 stores as well, almost, give or take. But while this creates so much external pressure with that rivalry, there's also the threat of the new entrants remains relatively low because of the large investment required to build big national distribution networks. Electric vehicles represent a longer term substitute threat, and by reducing the demand for certain traditional replacement parts, so that's something to look out for, as well as buyer power is moderate because DIY customers are more price sensitive, while professional repair shops prioritize speed and reliability, so having those parts as soon as possible. And with that, supplier bargaining power is relatively low because O'Reilly purchases hundreds of suppliers at national scale. However, those long-term supplier relationships remain strategically valuable because they improve the product availability, reliability, and purchasing terms, strengthening O'Reilly's distribution network and supporting its competitive advantage O'Reilly's competitive advantage is based on the combination of the resources that reinforce one another in the Vero analysis that shows its distribution network and long-standing commercial repair shops relationships are valuable and relatively rare, difficult to imitate, and also supported by the organization. Creating a sustained competitive advantage purchasing scale is valuable, but is more common in large competitors. The activity system explains why these resources are so difficult to copy, and distribution centers, hub stores, inventory management, commercial relationships, and knowledgeable employees, big one, all work together to provide fast parts availability because competitors would have to replicate this entire system and rather than just one capability, and O'Reilly's position remains difficult to imitate because of all of that. So O'Reilly business level strategy combines differentiation with an operation efficiency to create value for both DIY customers and repair shops. The company raises customer willingness to pay by offering broad inventory availability, same-day delivery, knowledgeable team members, which was mentioned earlier, strong commercial repair shop relationships, and reliable customer service. At the time, it lowers operating costs through the 32 distribution centers, purchasing scale, efficiency, inventory management, the hub-spoke distribution network, and economies of scale. The integrative approach allows O'Reilly to deliver superior custom values while maintaining cost efficiency. A key part of this is a strategy trade-off part, and that is where O'Reilly carries approximately 24,000 SKUs and about 870,000 in inventory per store, which increases inventory carrying costs compared to a leaner operation model. However, the company intentionally accepts those higher costs because generally inventory availability supports faster delivery, reduces stocks, and strengthens relationships with commercial repair shops. The trade-off is, though, with this, that is difficult for competitors to copy because choosing a leaner inventory strategy may lower costs, but it also reduces the product availability and service speed. So that may commercial customers value by accepting higher inventory costs in exchange for better availability and service. O'Reilly reinforces the integrity strategy. I'm not saying the right word for that. Integrative strategy. Wow. Of increasing customer willingness to pay and while maintaining the operational efficiency. Overall, the balance between differentiation and the cost efficiency helps explain why O'Reilly has maintained a strong competitive position and automotive aftermarket industry overall. So AI should be viewed as a strategic enabler rather than a competitive advantage itself. AI-powered demand forecasting, route optimization, predictive ordering, and customer support are all improved O'Reilly's existing activity system by increasing the speed and efficiency overall. However, competitors like AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, and can purchase many of these AI tools as well. So AI alone is not rare or difficult to imitate. The real competitive advantage here is coming from the combine of AI with a long-standing commercial customers relationship. These resources are already valuable and difficult for competitors to replicate. So allowing O'Reilly to create more value from AI than competitors with less developed networks would be very much the best route to go. So bringing all my frameworks together, my overall conclusion is that O'Reilly currently holds a strong competitive position, and the integrative distribution network, commercial repair relationship, shop relationships, and the effective activity system continues to create value that competitors struggle to implicate. Today, the company's greatest challenge is its intense competition from AutoZone and the online retailers that continue to improve their delivery speed as well and their convenience. So looking further ahead, electric vehicles adoption represents more of a gradual structured threat because it may reduce the demand for some traditional replacement parts that they have on their shelves over time. My recommendation is designed to strengthen O'Reilly's position against today's rivals while giving the companies additional time to adapt as the automotive industry continues to evolve over time. Alrighty, so based on my analysis, I recommend that O'Reilly uses AI to optimize their existing network rather than to simply expand to same-day delivery because they're already having a ton of same-day deliveries as it is, according to their annual 2025 report. So it's more so just using AI to optimize that and make it more of a standard in a sense. And that's just better than creating a new system as a whole. The priority customer segment should be professionally repair shops, and which guarantee approximately half of the company's total sales and depend on fast, reliable parts availability to keep vehicles moving through their repair phase. I recommend expanding inventory capacity in strategic location hub stores, implementing AI demands, and reinforcing the route optimization across the distribution network in the future. And actually supporting this, the company is planning to open a couple more so distribution facilities. So using that AI to reinforce those and put that in those, such as in the Virginia one, the Florida one, the Texas one, all of those, that would be a great start. And then rather than increasing overall inventory, O'Reilly should relocate investment away from slower moving inventory categories and toward higher demand commercial inventory. This recommendation directly addresses today's competitive advantage of intense rivalry from AutoZone and online retailers by improving speed, availability, and customer service. AI itself is not rare because every competitor can purchase similar technology. I'm pretty sure I said that earlier, but the competitive advantage comes from more combining AI with O'Reilly's already existing distribution network, as I said previously. Inventory system and commercial customer relationships, making the entire system much more difficult to replicate overall. And while this recommendation does not eliminate the long-term impact of electric vehicle adoption, it strengthens O'Reilly's competitive advantage position today while improving time to adapt to the automotive aftermarket continues to evolve. So with all of this, every strategic recommendation involves assumptions and risks. My recommendation assumes that O'Reilly can successfully integrate AI into its existing inventory and logistics system while continuing to execute more effectively than competitors. So one risk that competitors such as AutoZone accelerate similar investments, reducing O'Reilly's advantage. Another is that electric vehicles adoption progresses faster than expected. And also lowering the demand of the traditional replacement parts. So finally, AI implementation requires significant investment overall. So the expected operational improvements must outweigh the associated cost. Overall, these risks do not invalidate the recommendation, but they reinforce the importance of disciplining execution and continuous investment overall. So these are my sources. This is everything I use to compile the whole presentation. So thank you so much for listening.